All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Denver Broncos, folks. They are 6-5. And by the way, they started the season 1-5. So yes, I'm not good at math either, but they have now won 5 straight football games. However, clearly, they're not playing the best of opponents. You know, the Kansas City Chiefs, not like they're a good team. The Buffalo Bills, not like they're a good team. Minnesota, red hot Minnesota, clearly, you know, obviously they're not a good team. And then we have the Cleveland Browns this afternoon. And obviously, you know, Cleveland, despite having a undisputed top 5 defense, you know, they are missing Deshaun Watson. So to be honest with you, I actually don't think I did a great job of selling that as sarcasm. But now you know, folks, the Denver Broncos are beating really, really, really good teams. They're beating really good defenses like we saw this afternoon against the Cleveland Browns. Folks, the Cleveland Browns are one of the best defenses in the league. And I feel like their defensive statistics, even though they are top 5 in the league, I feel like it gets, you know, the last couple of weeks because of, or honestly, like half of the season because of Deshaun Watson's injury, they are a little bit skewed. If you know anything about the NFL, or if you know anything about the Cleveland Browns, you know that they have a really good defense, folks. Russell Wilson did not throw an interception. Yes, he only threw for 134 yards, but I'll tell you why here after the break. But before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Broncos fans, baby, we're back. We're so freaking back, guys. This team is 6-5. They were 1-5 last season, or not last season, before this win streak. Last season, they were absolute S show. They were terrible last season. We've said it in 2 straight videos. Why not make it a third? They hired a coach to manage time when you had a head coach on your freaking roster, folks. It's insane. The Denver Broncos are so back. But before we get into tonight's video, if you guys want more Broncos content, let me know down below, but let's try and get this video to 250 likes. This team, oh man, Sean Payton led teams, as we know, as we say on this channel all the time, they do better in the months of November and December, which are 2 really important months. You know, yes, the Broncos started 1-5, but folks, in the last month and a half, they've rattled off 5 straight victories. Russell Wilson has been quote-unquote fixed. If there was really, I mean, let's be real here. Was there really anything wrong with Russell Wilson? It kind of just felt like more of a Denver Broncos coaching issue, because if we go back and look at the couple of games Russ played when Hackett got fired, you know, he looked pretty fine to me. Yeah, so the Cleveland Browns defense, the Cleveland Browns in general were 7-3 heading into this football game. So Deshaun or no Deshaun, they're winning football games, and their defense is a huge reason why. Well, the Broncos rushing squad, which is something that we honed in on in our last Broncos video about 2 days ago. We said, I said, can I please get my man Samaje Perine going? Now, it was a little bit biased because I actually ended up telling my aunt on Thanksgiving. She showed me her fantasy football team that was, for context, sitting at 3-8, and I forget who she had starting at running back, but I was like, it was Tyjae Spears. Let's hit the waiver wire for a little bit. I stumble across Samaje Perine, and I'm thinking to myself, he saw uptick in just, you know, playing time and production last week. If I'm Sean Payton, which, you know, I'm not Sean Payton, obviously, I'd play Samaje Perine more. So what would he see? 7 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown, long of 24. But as a total, as a cohesive unit, we saw the Denver Broncos rushing attack for the last time, and probably not the last time in tonight's video, against one of the best defenses in the league, let alone one of the best rush defenses in the league. They are top 10 undisputed, statistically, eye test, however you want to cut it. Well, the Broncos running game ran 39 times for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I think we're back. You know, Javonte chipped in with 65 yards, averaging 3.6 yards per carry. Russell Wilson, as mobile as ever, it felt like today, 11 carries, 34 yards, and that touchdown. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think I don't feel like I have said it on this channel the last now 3 videos. If you can control the trenches, you can control the game. And that's exactly what we saw this afternoon. Now, the Browns' rushing attack did run 24 times for 107 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. But DTR, don't let those statistics fool you. PJ Walker as well, they didn't have anything going. They really did not have anything going. And I got to say, real quick, after the rushing attack praise, I got to shout out this defense. And I know this is the last. Broncos fans don't want to hear me talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, but this is something I noticed last year with Kansas City, because last year was my first year officially covering football. They had this quote unquote young defense. And I remember a guy, Justin Reed, I believe, the safety, saying once the playoffs hit, like, look, you guys aren't rookies anymore. You're vets. You're veteran enough to make an impact on this team because we need you. And that's exactly what Sean Payton and the direction of the Denver Broncos defense took. What comes to my mind immediately is losing Jermont Jones. Guys are stepping up. They're making plays. They're young. They're athletic. They're hungry. And most importantly, baby, they are freaking cheap. And in this 5-game winning streak, their defense has stepped up exponentially. I mean, the defense is doing a phenomenal job. I don't care who you're playing, though. Number one string, maybe for, just an example, Patrick Mahomes. Another example would be Josh Allen. Whether it's either one of those 2 quarterbacks or Jordan Love or Josh Dobbs or DTR or PJ Walker, I don't care, because they're all NFL players. This Denver Broncos defense has done more than enough in the last month and a half to solidify me. And if we go back, I'm not trying to give myself praise here, but if we go back 2 days ago to my last Broncos video, I did say this team would finish at least 9-8, and their defense is a huge reason why. But guys, Russell Wilson is making plays. He looks mobile. He looks agile. He is as back as ever. And we obviously have to give praise not only to Russell Wilson, but the man who, like we said, quote, you can't see my face right now, I'm using air quotes, fixed Russ. And Sean Payton's a phenomenal head coach. And I just think it's funny, and I feel like, maybe I'll go back on some comments in some prior videos or just Twitter or whatever to some people saying that Sean Payton was always overrated. I think that's pretty much set to rest in the bed. I also think the Russell Wilson's cooked. Russell Wilson's overrated. I think that has been set to bed. Just a phenomenal win today. They scored in all 4 quarters. They put up 29 points against, this will be the last time, one of the best defenses in the National Football League. I feel great. And one thing that we really honed in on in our last video, their final 3 games of the season are against the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Raiders, and now they're 6-5. So I'll just say it. I'll make a prediction here. I do believe the Denver Broncos certainly make the playoffs, and judging by the way the things have been in the last month and a half, I wouldn't want to play the Denver Broncos per se in the playoffs. I don't know about you guys, but this is beautiful. And we'll talk more about this game specifically as the week goes on. So hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you want more Broncos videos, let me know down below. But hope you guys had a great weekend, and we will see